fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington Redskins.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. The Redskins taking the field, led once again by a number 7. Of course, Joe Theismann's old number hadn't been used in 33 years, but Joe gave the okay to wear it to this man, their first-round pick, Dwayne Haskins. Now the second year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the gun, Haskins on third down. Open man is Sims. He's got it. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there was a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a give, right side, it's Geis. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Thompson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
So here now the Cowboy offense onto the field to get their first crack at it. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield. A first down throw from Mayfield. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. David Njoku, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. Forbath, the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays, the long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now he's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are going to retake the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just 1 play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The DM, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. On 2nd down, it's Thompson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. 3rd down, here's Haskins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
10-7 our score after one, right here on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd down, Mayfield, who nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And that's going to be intercepted. Landon Collins, the Pro Bowl safety. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turn to block, find a spot.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 81 yards. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. On 2nd and 9, Haskins. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 42. They go play action now. Haskins. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Redskins have the 1st down on a pickup of 18.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, Haskins. He's got Thompson here, complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On third down, Haskins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. On third down, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the deep.
And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's second down. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, 79 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
The run by Elliott, a good one on first down as he's able to pick up about 6 there. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the 41, Mayfield steps away to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Ryan Kerrigan, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Mayfield looks to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jonathan Allen. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Now Haskins to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion.
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Heading back out, Baker Mayfield as we call up our player spotlight. And I guess about set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing, Mayfield, flushed out right. He's going to get this to Austin, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. To throw, Mayfield eluding the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And again, it's Mayfield. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. But now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Got his man there, complete to Gallup. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. That one complete to Elliott. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Mayfield with it once more. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So we come upon halftime. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 10th carry now for Elliott. It was Jonathan Bostic there on the stop. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Hey, Delta. Mike, 55. Check.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his tight end, David Njoku, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
55, Mike, 55.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Here comes the boom.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Point it right.
Mayfield now. This is the tight end, Njoku. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Forbath able to convert the extra point. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that third touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He'll put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And that's complete. It's Sims. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, Haskins on third down. And he finds McLaurin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 19. To Thompson on the draw. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to...
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Chris Thompson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, and it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. A first down throw from Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Mayfield. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Mayfield on play action. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 23. Here's Mayfield. With Cole Beasley now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cedric Wilson, his first touchdown of the new season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Mayfield to throw it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there is really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Austin. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They start on the ground with Elliott. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. Mayfield on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, world. Up.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield flush to his right. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 36. Well, last year on Thanksgiving when the Cowboys and Redskins met, that was sort of the Dallas coming out party for Amari Cooper. A lot of people were questioning that trade, but on that Thanksgiving Day game, Cooper 8 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Cowboys would get nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daron Payne picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground? This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Mayfield looks to throw. Cooper's got it. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Elliott. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And Forbath will put this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. 2nd down, Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Haskins to throw. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
That QB's trash. Let's go.
Now it's Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here we go with Haskins. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And out now come the Cowboys. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a timeout called for by the defense as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run with Elliott. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
They'll try to run for it with Elliott. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Dallas, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.